Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to do some maintenance. We're going to check over a few things and we're going to see if we can find out why my oil looks like it's been to the strippers. As you'll see in this video here, latest oil change I've done. She's a bit glittery. We're not really sure what it is, so I'm going to check a couple of things, see if anything presents itself, and we'll go from there. I'm also going to, before I pull it apart, I'm going to do some maintenance. I'm going to drop the fuel out of it. It doesn't have very high content of e85 in there at the moment. I think it's only 30%, but I'd rather get all of that out, get some fresh 98 in, just to be on the safe side in case the car is going to be off the road for a while. I'll put a video in here later on to show you what e85 can do to your system. I've said it before, if your car's going to be sitting around for a few months without being used, dump the fuel out, put 98 in it, run it as much as you can so it circulates through the system, and it'll save you a lot of hassles and a lot of money in the long run. Okay guys, well, I hope you enjoy this video and we'll get to it. Don't leave E85 in your fuel tanks, guys. If your car's going to be stationary for over a month, if you're not going to fire it up every month, it's going to sit there for 3 months, 6 months, a year. Drop the E85 out, fill it full of 98, and run it for a few minutes so it's all the way through your system. This is a car that's had E85 in it for a long time, and yeah, basically needs the whole fuel system replaced. And do yourself a favour, $50 worth of 98, save yourself some big headaches. You can see we tried some weight in the back at this last event. I had 120 kilos plus half a tank, or about 45 litres, so a bit over half a tank. The car was struggling a bit, so I ended up taking 40 kilos out, and then we come close to PBing. I think it would have been a PB or very close to it. Went 649 at 116 mile an hour, and then the very next run, and that was only a 181 60 foot. The next run was like a 19 60 foot with a 660 something, but 123.9 mile an hour. So if I would have carried that mile an hour on that other run, I think we would have been close to a PB. So anyway, we'll get this nice 98 in there and we'll get it circulating through. What do you reckon, Jobs? You helping? She's none too impressed, because after we're done this, we'll be going to the beach. So she's much keener for that than helping out here.
You cannot feel this energy.
Drop.
Here we go, we'll have a look. Keep an eye on oil pressure and fire that fuel through. So I'm going to rip the tapper covers off and I'm going to see if we've got any broken springs or anything presented in the top end there that will give us an indication what that metal is in the oil. I'm also going to flush the cooling system. Actually, I might hold off on doing that. So we'll rip this side tapper cover off. And of course, I've grabbed the wrong size dash spinner. Okay, got sidetracked. Spilled oil everywhere. Yep. And on that note, I'll put the phone down and finish getting this tapper cover off. That first glance in there. Not that I'm any form of mechanic, so only looking for very obvious signs of issues. So we got this side off. That rocker's got a little whammo in it, but I don't think that's new. Certainly can't see anything presenting itself. Well, nothing up there that's real obvious, so we might need to talk to the boss mechanic get a bit more of an idea. For now, we'll disconnect the fuel pump so we don't start it up by accident. Because knowing me, that's something I would do. Not really sure what else I can check. As I said, I'm not super mechanically minded. Usually leave it up to the experts. But we thought we'd have a quick look, see if something was obvious up the top there. Thought maybe it'd done a spring. But all that looks alright at a quick look. Yeah. Who knows? So as I said, I'll check with the mechanic. There's no glitter in the oil up the top there, so I guess it's all getting contained in the bottom of the sump for now, and the filter obviously. But figure out whether it's worth risking driving it, or whether we got to investigate some more. Race car, street car life. What do you do? It's all part of it. As I said, it's done about 8,000 Ks, I think. Yeah, a bit over 8,000 Ks. So it's done a fair bit of work for a street car, for a car that, you know, makes 1,200 horsepower. So if something is failing, well, so be it. I've also been having a think about boost management. Obviously I've got a Haltech in here. As people who watch my videos know, I'm still running an eBoost too. On the weekend at the Talk Time PSR No Prep Chicago shootout, I noticed the car was very, very laggy off the dot a lot of the times. Even sort of trying an SP3, leaving it about 3,000 RPM, 3,200 RPM. I think it makes about like a pound of boost at that point. It's not making really any boost until you know, probably past a 60 foot or something. I don't know, I'd have to check the data, but it seems like you're a long way out before it actually starts to go. So I might need to put the Haltech keypad in there. I do have one, I just haven't put it in yet. And maybe some other boost management like CO2 to, you know, force that boost in earlier. Obviously still probably limited to how quickly we can with the suspension I've got, but that's something we can work out, you know, like if it's there and it's more controllable, then you can tune it in. And as I said in the probably the last video, the video before, I would like to get at least like a wheel speed sensor on the front, so I can get a little bit more sort of like some sort of boost management, traction control type setup. Obviously that all comes down to money, and look, if something's hurting the engine, then none of that is really needed right now. But if it comes off the road, if the engine does need like a full freshen up, then I think I've said it before, I'll probably go rods and pistons, and we'll probably be off the road for a while, get some money together. I know even Jobs looks a little bit disheartened with that. But it is what it is. It's all part of the game. It's not my first rodeo. So, yeah. No sense speculating or worrying too much. We'll just take it as it comes and go from there. It'd be a good time to get that rust fixed in the roof, sort of gutter rail. And I've got a black hood lining I've had for years for it that match the door cards. So if the windscreens have got to come out, fixed the rust all around the screens as well. There's a couple of bubbles here and there, nothing major, but you know, as anyone knows, when you're dealing with rust, it's it can be a little spot that leads into a big problem. So I wouldn't mind getting the hood lining in, because this one's just recently started to sag as well. So it'd be nice to make it all black in here and maybe paint these or get them covered, and paint the brown rubbers. But yeah, once again, none of that matters if the engine's going to be off the road for a while. You want some Pat's Jobs? But yeah, guys, I hope this is, you know, been informative. As I said, like, don't leave e85 in your system. You know, it's actually come up a little bit to about 15 or 19%, I think. So if it does come out anyway, like, I'll pull injectors out and keep them in a sealed bag with some lubricant in there so they don't seize up, and then of course they'll get cleaned and tested before they go back in. And I'll probably flush the rest of the fuel system, pull it all apart. I've got some maintenance to do there anyway, so I might even put a fuel sender level in the tank so I don't run out of fuel all the time. That'd be a novel idea, but yeah, we'll see how we go with that. I'll take this minute too to just thank all the new subscribers. Thanks again to all the people that have come up. That last event, I probably had, I don't know, 10 people comment on the YouTube channel, so that's awesome. Shout out to all you guys, like, I appreciate that. We had a bit of a chat and so on and so forth, and I hope, yeah, I'll see you all again at another event soon. Thank you. Yeah, not too sure what's going on there with the engine. I noticed a bit of metal when I dropped the oil before the last event. Oil pressure's still mint. There's no noises coming out of it. Obviously not optimum to drive it. It did have a couple of like flutters at the event, like it was kind of blowing out the spark or just breaking down in a couple of parts, but it was pretty hot. So whether that's got something to do with what's going on, I don't know. Yeah, only time will tell. So we'll decide what we need to do, and I'll let you know in the future what's going on. So we might be out of action for the rest of the year, or maybe down to limited use. Might just have to take some boost out of it and still cruise it. But as I said just earlier, no sense really speculating until we know what's going on. And unfortunately, it is part of driving a high horsepower car, the amount that I do. You know, as I showed you there, it's done over 8,000 Ks since the last freshen up. That's when the new crank went in. And that engine, as I said multiple times before, has probably done, with me, it's probably done 30,000 plus Ks. Easy. You know, like, I'd be surprised if it's not 30 to 40. And then that was a second-hand engine as it was, so the rods and pistons have done a lot of work. It has been apart quite a few times, like the old crank got linished a couple of times, you know, through oil starvation, crack, just eat a bearing, all that sort of stuff. Pretty sure I chewed a cam at one stage, only running like, I can't remember what lifters I had in it at that stage, and then went to another 7 lifter maybe. Well, that could be an old engine. Hard to tell. It all gets a little bit fuzzy when you look back at what you've done over the years. So yeah, regardless if the car's hurt or not hurt, I'll still be at plenty of events. Just means I'll jump in with other people and go for a ride, probably get more footage. I hope it's not, because obviously I enjoy getting out there. In saying that, like the hot weather coming, it'd probably be limited to how much I use it anyway. I was gonna possibly go to Midnight Mayhem this weekend and watch that in Sydney, but that's been postponed to the 25th, I believe, which I think is the same. Junga Bunga's No Prep is on the 25th at Warwick, actually, and I think Road Trip's the weekend before. It's the 17th to the 19th, maybe. Old man brain, pretty typical. I don't really plan a lot. I just sort of go with the flow and see where the wind takes me. Anyway, thanks again, guys. A little bit more of an add-on to this video, me talking more rubbish. We'll see you at the track. Have a good one, guys. Cheers. Thanks for watching, guys. If you made it this far, please subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, share it around if you think any of your mates might enjoy it, and check out some of these other videos. Thanks as always, and we'll see you at the track.